Welcome back to our YouTube channel, Easy Explanation. In this video tutorial, we will be learning about matrix multiplication in C programming language. The concept of matrix multiplication is based on the concept of multidimensional array in C. So you need to have the basic understanding of how multidimensional array work in C programming language in order to understand the matrix multiplication. If you are unfamiliar with the concept of multidimensional array, then I have provided the link of video tutorial on multidimensional array in the description section of this video. Please go through that. Now coming to the matrix multiplication part. In order to multiply the two given matrices, the matrix need to fulfill this condition. The column of first matrix should be equal to the row of second matrix. The column of first matrix should be equal to the row of second matrix. Let us say the size of first matrix is m n and the size of second matrix is p and q. So n is the size of column of first matrix and p is the size of row of second matrix. So n, the value of n and p should be equal. If they are equal, then only we can multiply the two given matrices. Now coming to the logic part, let us say we have the two given matrices like this. We have the two given matrices. The first matrix is matrix A, as 1 2 3 4 5 6. This matrix is of size 2 cross 3, 2 row and 3 column. Another matrix we have is 1 2 1 and 1 3 1. This is the matrix B. You need to multiply the two matrix and it is of size 3 cross 2. So you can see the column of first matrix is equal to size of second matrix, the row of second matrix. Since they are equal, then we can say that these two matrix can be multiplied. Let us say this is the matrix A and this is the matrix B, and their result need to be stored in the matrix C. The result need to be stored in matrix C. The size of resultant matrix is dependent upon these two given matrices. So the row of second matrix, the row of result matrix is dependent upon the row of first matrix. So it will be of size. So row of first matrix is 2 and the column of result matrix is dependent upon the column of second matrix and the column is 2. So the result matrix will be of size 2 cross 2. So if you multiply a matrix of size 2 cross 3 with matrix of size 3 cross 2, you will get the result matrix of size 2 cross 2. So let us say this is M, this is N, this is P and this is Q. Then you can see here it is M into Q. So the new matrix, size of new matrix will be M into Q. Now let us first create three matrices, then we will be performing the next multiplication operations. So for that I will be creating one C program file, matrix underscore dot C program to multiply two matrices. Then hash include stdio.h int main. So as you can see from this diagram, we need the first matrix, second matrix and one result matrix. The size of first matrix will be m cross n, the size of second matrix will be p cross q, and the size of result matrix will be dependent upon the size of first and second matrix. So let us define the three matrices here. So int a of 100 100 and its size will be m comma n. Then another matrix B of size 100 100 and its size will be determined by P and Q. Then we'll be writing one more resultant matrix C 100 100. So the matrix C will hold the result of matrix multiplication. Now in order to insert the element into these matrices, we will be using two loop controlling variable I and j. So first I will ask the user enter the size of first matrix scanf %d ampersand m comma ampersand n. Then ask the user to enter the element of first matrix, so /n enter %d elements of first matrix, and %d will be given by m into n. Okay, now we need one nested loop. For I equals to 0, I less than m, I plus plus, we are reading the element into the first matrix. So for j equals to 0, j less than n, j plus plus, and then scanf into the address of a of ij, %d ampersand a of I and then j. After this, again we'll ask the user to enter the size of second matrix. Enter the size of second matrix, and it will be stored in variable p and variable q. Now in order to multiply the two given matrices, the condition need to be fulfilled is the column of first matrix should be equal to row of second matrix, otherwise the matrix cannot be multiplied. So printf matrix cannot be multiplied, and finally write return 0 statement, return 0. Now if this condition is satisfied, if the column of the first matrix is equals to row of second matrix, then we'll ask the user to enter the element of second matrix. So we'll be performing the same operation. So I will copy the code. Now alignment is done. Now enter the %d element of second matrix, and it will be given by p into q, and it will be p, this will be q, and it will be b. Now once the first matrix and second matrix are initialized, we can start performing the matrix multiplication. Now how to perform the matrix multiplication? Let us understand the logic again. So I will start from fresh again, clear all. Okay, so see here, one, two, three, 4, 5, 6 matrix A, and another matrix we have is 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 1, another matrix B. This is the matrix A and this is the matrix B we have. Now in order to perform the matrix multiplication, what we have to do is multiply each row of first matrix with each column of second matrix. So first, the first row will be multiplied with first column. First row will be multiplied with first column. Once the multiplication is done, again we'll multiply the first row with second column. Okay, so then after this operation is done, again we'll multiply the second row with first column, and again second row with second column. Let us say Now let us say I am using variable I in order to indicate the row of first matrix, and I am using variable j in order to indicate the column of second matrix. So I will be using variable I in order to track the row of first matrix, and we will be using variable j in order to track the column of second matrix. So each row should multiply the each column of second matrix. So for that, let us write the code again. Now first this row will multiply this column, again this row will multiply the second column. So for each row we have to perform how many operation? We need to perform the, suppose this size is p and to q, so for each row we need to perform q operation. Okay, so each row you need to perform the key operation. So we have two rows, so we need to perform again another. For the last row again we need to perform the key operation. So from that we can understand that we need the nested loop in order to implement this logic. So for I equals to 0, I less than, so you can see here, since I indicate the row of first matrix and the number of row we have is dependent upon the row of first matrix. The row of first matrix is given by m, so I should be less than m, and again I plus plus. After that we have to multiply each row with the column of second matrix, and the column of second matrix is given by j equals to 0. J should be less than, so j should be less than q. So j should be less than q. So each column should be multiplied. So j should be less than q, and again j plus plus. Okay. Now let us say, so m and n is m equals to 2 and n equals to 3. We have 2 row and 3 column. Our matrix of first matrix is of size 2 cross 3, and the second matrix is of size 3 cross 2. So p equals to 3, and again q is equals to 2. And I can see here coming to this part. So for every I, our j should run how many times? Our j should run 10 times. So for I equals to 0, our j should run for the value of j equals to 0, for the value of j equals to 1, and for the value of j, okay, so 2 times it should run, and the value of j become 2, the loop will be terminated. Now for every row our column should be multiplied twice. Now again for the value, when the value of I become 1, again our j should run how many times? J, for j equals to 0 times and j equals to 1 time. So for the I equals to 0, our j should run 2 times. When the value of I become 1, our j should run 2 times. In this way we can multiply each row of the first matrix with each column of second matrix. Now after that, how to multiply the individual elements? Now you can see here, so I have used variable I in order to indicate the row of first matrix. Let us define the indices. So 0 1, and again here 0 and 1. Now the column of first matrix is equal to the row of second matrix, so we will be using common variable in order to indicate this column of first and row of second. Let us say I am using variable k in order to indicate the column of first matrix and row of second matrix. So 0 1 2, since their size are same, we will be using the same variable for that. So it is also variable k. Now the multiplication should be done is 1 should be multiplied with 1. So the position of 1 in the first row is given by a of, suppose I is 0 now, so our I variable I is indicating this first row. So a of I, so this is the, so 0 1 and 2, so we'll be multiplying the k value of k is now 0. So a of I k will be multiplied with b of k and j. E of ik will multiply the b of kj. So after the multiplication, again we'll be incrementing the k index. Now the k will be this, and again the new k will be this. So every time our k will be incremented. For that, we'll be writing the logic again. For k equals to 0, again we have to declare the variable k here. So k equals to 0, and k should be less than either the column of first matrix or the row of second matrix. So the column of first matrix is given by n, and similarly the row of second matrix is given by p. So you can use any of these variables. So k should be less than p and k plus plus. Now after that, since you can see here, after multiplication, so after multiplication of this and this, 1 and 1, again we have to sum and multiply this, and have to multiply the second element with this second element in the row. So you can see here, again we have to perform 2 into 2. So it is again given by a of I k into again b of k and j. Okay, so after the multiplication of this, again we have to do here is multiply 3 with 1. So again 3 with 1. So again we have to perform the same operation, again a of ik into b of kj. So we have to perform sum and multiplication operation every time. So for that, we'll be writing the logic here. Again, in order to store the sum value, we'll be writing one variable sum equals to 0, and see here, again we have sum equals to sum plus a of I k into b of k and j. Now after this logic is done, so you can see here 1 into 1 will be 1 plus 4 plus 3 will be 8. So the resultant matrix, first element of result matrix will be 8. So the sum value will be stored in the resultant matrix, and we have declared a resultant matrix as C of 100 100. So the first element will be C of I, and j will be equals to sum. After that, after this operation is done, after the first row multiplied the first column, we need to multiply the first row with the second column. Every time we have to perform the same operation. Now once this is done, multiply the first row with the second column. So the first row will be multiplied, so 1 will be multiplied with this one. Now 1 will be multiplied with this one, and the position of this one will be given by again a of ik into again the, so this is the k and this is the j. Now it will be given by b of kj. So it will also be using the same concept. So we'll be multiplying 1 with 1, again plus 2 into 3. So this will be multiplied with this, again plus multiply this 3 with this 1. So 3 into 1. So again the next value will be 1 plus 6 plus 3 will be 10. So the second element is now 10. Okay, so in this way the operations are done. So once the first row completes this operation for both the column, we have to move the index of row. Now our eye will point to this new row, which is 1. Again perform the same operation. Again perform the same operation for this. So this is denoted by k and this is denoted by j. So the new I will be this, and this is again k here. So this is 0 1 and 2. again we have to multiply. Let us say our k is pointing to the first element. I have to multiply this 4 with first with this 1. So 4 into 1 plus 5 into 2 plus 6 into 1. It will be 4 plus 10 plus 6 will be 16 plus 4 is 20. So the new element here will be 20. So once this is multiplied with this column is done, we have to move the column. The new column will be now this. Now we have to multiply this second row with the second column. So again perform the same operation. So 4 into 1 plus 5 into 3 plus 6 into 1. So 4 plus 15 plus 6, 21 plus 4 is 25. Okay. So we are getting the result as 8, 20 and 25. So you can see here, every time what I have to do is we have to make the sum as 0 in order to initialize the new value. So first this value will be calculated, again the sum will be initialized to 0 again, then again the sum and multiplication will be calculated in order to get the next value. So that is the reason why we are writing sum equals to 0 every time. Now you can see here, for every value of j, our k should run how many times? So our k should run, let us say the value of k is dependent upon the value of n, which is 3. Our k should run 0, 1 and 2 times. So in this way the matrix multiplication will be done. So once the matrix are multiplied, we'll print the resultant matrix. So printf so the resultant matrix will be /n the result matrix is /n. So we have concluded that the size of resultant matrix is dependent upon the size of first and second matrix. So for I equals to 0, the row is dependent upon the row of first matrix. The row of first matrix is given by m I plus plus. Again the column of second matrix j equals to 0. Column of result matrix is dependent upon the column of second matrix, and column of second matrix is given by p and q, and then j plus plus. And printf, print the element, so %d /t, and write the c of I and j. After that break the new line every time. After printing the first row, break the new line to print the second row. So this is the complete code for the matrix multiplication. So let's start from the top here now. See, up to line number 17, then from 17 to line number 40, from line number 40 to the remaining. Okay, so this is the complete code. I zoom it out, if it is possible to see the result. Okay, I hope every one of you have got the good look at this code. Now let us compile this code and see if there is any error or we have written the correct program. So gcc matrix multiplication dot c dot slash a dot out. enter the size of first matrix 2 and 2, enter the element 1 1 1 and 1, enter the size of second matrix 2 by 2, enter the element again 1 1 1 and 1. You can see the result matrix is 2 and 2. So you can say that the program that we have written is correct and it worked perfectly fine. So see up to line number 40, from 42 remaining. So this is the complete code to multiply the two given matrices. I hope every one of you understood the concept. If you have any queries regarding the logic, please mention in the comment section. We'll try to explain the concept. And please like, share and subscribe our channel for more videos. Thank you everyone.